Levi here is going to help me teach settle on a mat, which means just go to the mat and lay down. There are lots and lots and lots of uses for settle on a mat. We're just going to teach the basic behavior today, and we'll get into why we're going to use it and how we're going to use it later. The first thing we want the puppy or the dog to do, we happen to use him because he doesn't know how to do this. He's a great little teacher for this, but this can be taught to a dog of any age. The first thing we want them to do is get on the floor. That's ideal for the dog to be on the floor. Then I'm going to click anytime his paws touch a mat. Anytime his paws touch a mat, I'm going to click. I'm not calling him over here. I'm not asking him to come over. I'm just going to wait him out. It's a waiting game. He's free to do whatever he likes. At the instant he steps on that mat, I click and then I treat. I toss the treat because I need him to get off the mat. Close. Because if he stays on the mat like this, I have to wait for him. Yep, good job. So it just takes a paw. And a lot of people say, well, I don't think he knows what he's doing. I don't really think he's putting his paw on there intentionally. He's not. He's not right now. But the more times that click comes when his paw is touching it, the clearer it's going to be to him that it is the paw that's getting it. So we only care about a paw right now. And you'll notice that I'm not looking at the puppy. I'm just waiting for him to move. As soon as he moves, I click and treat. I happen to use the clicker because I think it's the fastest way to train. The click just marks the instant that the dog does something that I like and that I'm going to give him a goodie for. So the technical term for what I'm doing is called shaping, because I'm shaping the dog. If you imagine like a block of clay, you know how you shape the block of clay into something? That's what I'm doing. This is my block of clay, the puppy here, and I'm shaping him into what I want, which is going on the mat and settling. I can't expect him to go to the mat and lay down immediately. That's not even fair to expect, but I can help him figure out that this mat is pretty darn special, because every time he goes to it, he puts a paw on it. Now I'm getting almost every time I'm getting two paws. So now I'm holding my click a little bit till I get two paws. So now I'm only clicking when I get two paws. There it is. Oh, and that's the magic sit. That's what I'm eventually going to go for, but I'm not going to go for that yet. I want two paws on. And you can see every single time now I'm getting two paws. One of the cool things about shaping is the dog figures this out all by himself. One paw, two paws. Now, because he's so good at getting two paws on, I'm going to wait for three until I click. 1, 2, 3, and I click. I'm just I have my toes on the mat so it doesn't, 1, 2, 3, so it doesn't slide when he moves off of it. There's our 3. Good job, right? If you think that the orientation will help, can certainly change the orientation. I just want to make sure that you're centered up behind it and that you're not doing anything to get the puppy on the mat. If you notice, there's all 4. I'm just sitting here. I'm letting the click do all the talking. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, because he was so good at getting 3 on, now I just raise my criteria. Now I raise the bar a little bit. And the way he figures this out is, okay, this is nice. So, oh, that's beautiful. We like the lay down, love it, but it's not on the mat. So eventually, what we're going to want is this lay down on the mat, but I need him to understand that, so I'm not going to click this. Instead, what I'm going to do is just toss the treat so he gets up and moves again. Only because I don't want him to poop out and stop training, which he might be tired. He might poop out on us. click that because he was more on the mat. Let me move it back to this way again. See if that. So I didn't click that because I had my suspicions that he thinks it's walking across the mat. Oh, baby. There. The walk across the mat slowed down a little bit. And there, it stopped. Good. So you see how powerful the click is. We can really convey a lot of messages with just the click. So you notice I'm not telling him what to do. I'm letting the click, guide him and letting him figure out what to do. We've done a lot of training with him today, so it doesn't surprise me that he's kind of pooped out on experimenting and training. Good boy. And training sessions should be short anyway, and we've sort of worked the proverbial paws to the bone today. So we'll be lucky if he doesn't fall asleep in this video. Come on, baby. So there's a toy back behind the couch, and I know that he's being distracted. So that's the only time I'll sort of, he wants a more comfortable seat. It's the only time I'll sort of redirect him back to the area. Otherwise, if he's hanging out with me. Oh, good boy. So he sat all on his own. I didn't ask him for it, but I let the click tell him, yeah, that's a good boy. And hopefully what we'll get. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's what we want. That's a settle. So we got lucky today, and we used a tired puppy, and we got it all in one session. It usually does not happen like that. That's rare that happens. So he just happens to be tired. Oh, good boy. Good boy. And now that he's on the mat, I'm going to go ahead and feed him on the mat, because that's sort of where I want him to be. I want him to understand that laying on the mat is the goal behavior. That's even better. I'm just going to treat him for that. Because if we were to let this video run 3 more minutes, you'd see a sacked out puppy. So I'm gonna, for his benefit, just stop him here and not continue to click and feed, because I think that's it's a little bit much for him. So this is how easy the settle is. We're using Levi because he's brand new to this. He's never done this before. This works with an adult dog. In fact, most of the dogs I teach are adult dogs. They learn this really quickly. We're just using him because he's never done it before. That's how easy it is. We have to add in a lot more variables to this to make it real life. We have to add in some distance. How far away from this can I be? We have to add in some distractions. What else can be going on while he settles? Some duration. How long can he settle? So we have to add those things in before we use it for things like greeting people nicely at the door. But this is generally how we get started. We teach them to go to the mat and lay down. We still have to name it, and that'll come in a future video, how we tell the dog to settle when we want them to. But this was a great first introduction to settle. So whether your dog's an adult or a puppy, this is easy for them to learn. For more fast, fun, and easy dog training ideas, please visit smartdoguniversity.com. Please leave a comment below and click above to subscribe.